Hello everyone, welcome to Run TavernQuest. This is my fourth of, I expect, 7 videos trying out demos from the Steam Next Fest. So of course it is a demo, it even says right here, start demo. So this one is pitched as, I think of all the ones I have scheduled to try, this is the strangest, most novel idea I've seen. You are playing this as I mean, again, I haven't played the game, I just looked at the store page. My expectation is that this is a game that is kind of like a tabletop, well no, it's a text adventure game. It's an adventure, right? You know, you say stuff like, use duck on door or whatever to unlock the door in some ridiculous lateral thinking way. But you're not the player, you are the computer interpreting the player's commands in some way that I am very excited to see how the heck this works at all. So let's go. I am starting the demo, yes. And I guess I'm playing with the keyboard.
Trial version.
Oh, he's reading. TavernQuest trial version, copyright 1979. Hello, I'm the CPU, I manage things around here. You're a program. You're a game called TavernQuest. Yes, I am, thank you. Confirm.
Type new game to begin.
Type new game to begin. Steve is the one who types. Steve sends us commands. Our job is to respond to them. I love the idea that the little parts of the computer... New gag me. When a program comes to life, the computer is explaining to it how things work around here. Okay, no matter what. Yes, I continue.
Invalid command. New game. Type help for assistance.
Steve will never type help for assistance. Oh, good. Players never do.
Demo. The Malevolent Mage.
Steve is playing a trial version of TavernQuest. The adventure he's playing is totally separate and non-canon from the main game. Good to know if we buy the main game, this won't have affected anything. I've looked ahead in your programming. This is a simple story. Steve plays a noble adventurer whose goal is to defeat an evil wizard. First, he needs to buy a weapon.
Your adventure begins at the general store, where you can buy any goods an adventurer might require. It's a dusty and cluttered locale, but a necessary stop for your quest.
I wonder if I could turn up... Can I hit escape? No. I want to turn up the narration volume because it's quieter than the music. Oh well, I'm hoping you guys can hear it okay. He's a little cow. We control all the characters in the game except for Steve's. What is the shopkeeper doing as Steve enters the store? I see, so this is like a multiple choice kind of thing. Well, what is the shopkeeper doing? Is he sweeping the floor or eating a sandwich? I mean, it's a general store. Of course, he's sweeping. Nobody would be eating a sandwich.
You see the shopkeeper sweeping the floor. He's a burly old dwarf with tiny spectacles poking out of his bushy beard. As you catch his attention, he turns to welcome you.
What's a good name for the shopkeeper? Aaron Silverstock or Brad Shopkeepman? Okay. I guess I'll be we're being given the opportunity in a couple of these to be silly or traditional. I guess I'll go traditional again.
Aha! An adventurer you must be,
Says the shopkeeper.
Welcome to Silverstock Mercantile. I'm the owner here, Aaron Silverstock. Take a look around and talk to me if you'd like to buy something.
He finishes his sweeping and empties his dustpan into a garbage bin.
He's it's very traditionally Scottish dwarf. I don't know how dwarves all came to be Scottish, but they just are. By the way, feel free to press the Enter key to skip dialogue or make the text scroll faster. I promise I won't be offended. You can also change the font or text speed in the menu. No, I'm listening to the narration. Okay, Steve's typing. Look Garbage. Really, Steve? The garbage bin was never intended to be anything remotely interesting. Then again, Steve never has much cared about how things are intended to go. We can always just throw an error when Steve does something stupid. Trust me, I'm used to it. No. I mean, these games back in the day, they had a plan for everything. Right? There must be something in the garbage.
You walk past many interesting displays of powerful weapons and items to further examine the garbage bin. It appears to be full of garbage.
True enough. Get garbage. Okay. Again with the garbage? I feel like we're just encouraging him when we don't throw errors. If you still don't want to go that route, we can have the shopkeeper try to nudge him in the right direction. No, we'll say you can't have any garbage. We didn't expect you to say get
Invalid
garbage.
command, get garbage. Type help for assistance.
Eat garbage. This is a 9-year-old. I love it. No.
Invalid command, eat garbage. Type help for assistance.
Very exasperated narrator. Steve is inexplicably zeroed in on this. We need to somehow pull him away from his precious garbage. Any ideas? Spawn a puppy to vanish him. The garbage vanishes. The garbage explodes. Armed bandits. I think Steve would try to eat the puppy. We can't make a puppy. That would be irresponsible. And mentioning the garbage, it vanishing or exploding, just rewards him with a plot hook. I think what we need is armed bandits trying to rob the store.
Suddenly, 2 garbage bandits dart into the shop. They point crossbows in your face and yell at you incoherently. They confiscate every ounce of garbage and run out of the shop with their loot.
Darn garbage bandits, says the shopkeeper. Anywho, what would you like to buy?
I sort of thought they were going to rob the shop, not take the garbage away, but okay. Attack shopkeeper. Yep, that's pretty normal. Irredeemable. Is that how you spell irredeemable? Shouldn't there be an I instead of an A? I'm not actually sure. This is not important, but I'm going to go look this up. Nope, it's with an A. You got me. Okay, good. I'm sure Steve has a good reason to be attacking this guy. No, he probably doesn't. He's probably just a 9-year-old. Or like 13, maybe?
For no discernible reason, you approach the calm shopkeeper and begin to attack him.
I have decided that you shall die for my own amusement, Aaron Silverstock,
You explain.
I hope that you can put your own self-interests aside so that I may accomplish this goal of mine.
Alright, I guess we're starting Steve's first combat encounter. Ideally, his first enemy would show off the complex combat mechanics, but Aaron here can only do like 1 damage. Yikes. I mean, Steve hasn't even opened up his inventory yet. Does he even have any kind of weapon at all? No, this is not a combat game. This is an adventure exploration puzzle game. He doesn't have any weapons. I guess he's attacking this poor guy with his bare hands then.
Combat. Type help combat for list of battle commands.
I would be typing help combat here if I were Steve. I wouldn't be typing help when I misspelled new game, but I want to know what I'm allowed to do. Oh, attack. Sure, that's pretty
You
basic.
strike the unsuspecting shopkeeper repeatedly with your bare fists.
I wonder why I didn't equip a weapon.
You think to yourself while standing inside of a shop that sells weapons.
Aaron takes 3 damage, 2 out of 5. What does Aaron do now? He's got to scream. Get the guards in here.
The shopkeeper begins screaming.
Help! Somebody help me!
He shouts.
There's a crazed loon in my shop!
You take 0 damage, 25 out of 25.
You continue to pummel the poor shopkeeper.
Stop squirming around so much, you say. Just let me punch you, you stupid dwarf!
Aaron takes 2 damage and is defeated. Congratulations, Steve.
The innocent shopkeeper collapses to the floor in a puddle of blood, dead by your hand.
A job well done.
You say.
Now that my bloodlust has been sated, I shall concentrate on my very important quest.
Do we get to decide what the quest is, I suppose? I hope Steve doesn't think he can just win every combat encounter by typing attack every single round. I wouldn't count on that. Loot shopkeeper, sure, yeah, a classic. Alright, what items can Steve find here? You can pick multiple options, or none. I mean, I think he just has an important note. You don't get any money for stealing from a shopkeeper. It would all be in the cash register, right? And a potion is just a reward. But an important note, an opportunity to send the player down a plot hook. Or give the player a plot hook, whatever.
My very important quest, looting this guy's corpse.
You say. You thoroughly search the pockets of the shopkeeper's dead body. You take note from Aaron.
From Aaron? Are we gonna read it, do you think? No. Of course not. It's no surprise Steve elected to ignore that shopkeeper's important note. There's a bunch of weapons in this shop to choose from. He didn't bother to look at them. Should we offer him a choice or just choose one for him? He doesn't seem to care which one. We're picking one. Okay, here are the weapons we could give Steve here. Choose one. The can of beans, huh? No. I mean... This shopkeeper... It's a general store, though, didn't we say? It didn't say it was... I guess it said there were weapons all over the walls. So it is reasonable to suppose you could get a weapon. We shouldn't just give him a can of beans. Take the sword. We don't seem like the kind of character who would use a wand.
Shop for a weapon that suits your needs. Eventually, you decide to equip a sword of fine steel to aid in your adventure.
Go outside. Progress. I guess we're done with the shop.
You exit the shop. You are now outside. You're surrounded by dense forest. A trodden road extends in both directions. A sign advertises Silverstock Mercantile to highway travelers, though the shop is now eerily quiet.
I fear Steve has no idea where he's going, though. Well, nothing I can do about that, apparently. Go Wizard Tower. We are supposed to fight an evil wizard. What? How does Steve know about the Wizard Tower? He didn't talk to the shopkeeper. He didn't even read the note he left. There's this whole forest section he's trying to skip over. Yeah, he probably read the manual. Games had manuals back then. Whatever, let's just skip to the tower.
With a spark of clairvoyance, you trudge through the forest in a beeline to the Wizard's Tower that, by all means, you should have no idea exists at this point in your adventure.
It was on the box. How should the tower be described? You know, I was envisioning a tall cylinder, but when you say spiky obelisk, that's a big win for me.
You arrive at a large stone tower emerging from the lush thicket of the forest. The hulking obelisk towers over the surrounding canopy, with decorative turrets jutting outwards like claws. Ivy overgrowth crawls up the structure's exterior, leading you to wonder, is this long abandoned or reclusively inhabited? An imposing wooden door is the only viable entrance you see.
I can't imagine he's going to open the door. Who knows what he's going to do? Go door. Okay, very straightforward. Is Steve's character brave or cautious? He's obviously brave. He attacked a helpless shopkeeper for no reason.
Ever the intrepid explorer, you burst through the door into the wizard's tower.
Hearken and fear me, O foes of mine!
You shout. You take a few practice swings at the air with your sword to showcase your prowess. You are now inside the wizard's parlor. Cobwebs and moss speckle the damp room. A table and 2 broken chairs sit next to a dusty fireplace, and there's an armoire in the corner. As you step further into the room, you suddenly hear an imposing, ethereal voice echoing through the tower's halls.
Steve is now hearing the warning voice of the evil wizard. He's our main antagonist, so he should be intimidating. How does he threaten Steve? I mean, it's got to be death, right? Who cares about curses? I don't know. I want to see what kind of curse this game is going to come up with. Are we turned into a frog? Do we get a rash?
Halt, intruder! You are entering the domain of the nefarious wizard Lazador.
Says the omnipresent voice.
Leave this place at once, or I will use my evil wizard powers to inflict upon you a curse most heinous.
Okay, it didn't specify. Don't know how to spell armoire. Armrower? I fear that Steve might require medical attention.
Invalid command. Open arm roar. Type help for assistance.
What is inside the armoire? 38 gold, a rusty key. I mean, it's just an art. There's nothing in there, man. It's... I mean, is that fair, though? The game mentioned armoire in all caps. You're supposed to pay attention to it. I feel like it should have something less useful than these, though. Like, it shouldn't have a rusty key that, like, unlocks the door to the wizard's chamber. It should have, like, a screwdriver that lets you, you know, jimmy open a drawer in the kitchen that has a hammer that you use to break a mirror, because behind the mirror, right? You know, like what I mean? So there's no key.
The armoire is empty.
Go upstairs. Very reasonable. Okay, it's time for Steve to encounter his first actual enemy. The shopkeeper doesn't count. There's no way he gets this first try. We'll see. I'm the one in charge here.
You head towards the stairs that lead further up the tower. Before you can start up the stairs, the echoing voice of the wizard returns.
Foolish interloper, you did not heed my warning. You have incurred the wrath of Lazador. Now my guardian will dispose of you.
You hear vicious snarling as the wizard summons his unholy champion before you.
What enemy should Steve fight? An undead wolf or a goblin? A wizard wouldn't be guarded by a goblin. He'd be guarded by an undead wolf.
An undead wolf materializes. The zombie canine has patches of mangy, decomposing fur sliding off its exposed skeleton. His steely eyes glow a bright yellow. He attacks you.
They changed genders in the middle of that. Its skeleton, his steely eyes. I feel like it should be the same. I think they should all be it, frankly.
Combat. Type help combat for list of battle commands.
I imagine attack is the only command we're gonna need.
You swing at the undead wolf with your sword of fine steel.
Undead wolf takes 10. It's a lot better than our fists. What does the undead wolf do now? I mean, biting seems normal. One wonders what howling might do. Attract more defenders? Maybe? Probably not. I mean, it just bites you. It's a zombie. It's not doing anything very subtle.
The wolf growls viciously and bites you.
You take 11. Okay. Well, if we high roll, we could win this race.
You again whack at the bones of the undead wolf.
We being Steve here. But if we do 10 every time, and it does 11 every time, we're definitely gonna die. It bites you again.
The undead wolf pounces and bites you again.
I'll make this exactly as simple as you want it to be, Steve. See if you can come up with a new plan. Or if your sword just happens to do 11 this time. Okay.
You execute a tactical somersault and again strike the wolf.
Takes 10. The wolf is biting you. I'm not gonna go easy on you with this one. I'm making it very straightforward, just like you wanted.
The tireless undead wolf pins you down and bites again.
You take 2 damage out of 1? Why? I would expect it either like 1 or 11, right? 2 is
Your
weird.
lifeless body falls to the floor. The undead wolf feeds upon your corpse. You are dead. You were torn apart by an undead wolf.
Perhaps I should have mentioned it explicitly, but your goal is to lose to Steve. When Steve dies in combat, the game reloads to just before the encounter. Try again. Steve will just attack every single turn, so find a sequence of moves that allow him to win, or we'll be repeating this all day. I see. Okay, good.
Restart encounter? Yes or no?
I like that, you know, they explain to you your goal here. I mean, it seems like just...
Undead wolf
Okay,
material.
yeah. Can we go faster? I've seen all that before.
Come.
Steve attacks. I mean... Wait. He did 11 this time, didn't? Weren't we doing 10 before? Weird. Okay. I mean, it seemed like Bite, Bite, Howl would survive for Steve, wouldn't it? I don't know. Maybe I should just howl sooner and see what it does.
The wolf withdraws and howls ominously at the moon. What is he preparing?
Okay. A powerful attack on the next turn, so that's why we need to save the howl for when Steve's about to die anyway.
Execute.
Special attack.
In response to the wolf's howl, a pack of undead wolves are summoned. You are quickly overwhelmed by the ravenous pack.
Okay, understood. Yep. Okay, so we know how we could let Steve live, and we knew that last time, but I wanted to see what the howl does.
Combat.
It bites and bites, and then when you're about to die, it howls. Okay, this is the howl.
The wolf withdraws and howls ominously at the moon. What is he preparing?
Oh, I didn't mean to skip that narration. You give the undead wolf a final whack with your sword.
I won, you stupid wolf!
You say? You kick the lifeless pile of bones a few times for good measure. The way up the stairs is now clear.
I'm so glad that's finally over. Yes, agreed. Loot waffle. Belgian breakfast dish, sure. Got it. Steve's a moron.
Invalid command. Loot, waffle, type help for assistance.
Fine, let's throw some quick loot at him. There's no reason it would have gold, but sure, he could have a wolf tooth, why not?
You
I'm a very
search the pile
anti-gold
of
player.
bones. You take wolf tooth.
Are we at full health again now, or what? We're almost the final wizard fight. Yep.
You ascend the spindly wooden stairs to the top of the tower. The voice of the wizard returns, now booming his final warning.
Retreat now and live, adventurer. Lazador will be your doom.
Just this one last puzzle for Steve to solve. I think he's going to solve it with an attack.
At the top of the stairs is one final door made of heavy stone. An inscription on the door reads,
To open this door, answer me this riddle. What appears once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000
Pretty classic puzzle, easy answer. This riddle is very obvious. All he has to do is type one letter and we're golden. Uh-huh. Steve, I feel like, does actually mix with obvious very well. He just obviously hits attack. Here we go. Oh, come on, Steve. Just try something. Gonna have to give him a hint. No, you do. Why would it be pizza? I love it. Okay, an earnest attempt by the player to solve this puzzle. I'm very happy. Good for you, buddy.
You try the answer pizza. The door doesn't open.
Something less stupid this time, Steve? You can hear the wheels turning. Hot dog. He can't be serious. He will never figure this out.
You try the answer hot dog. The door doesn't open.
Steve, it's M. Just type M and we can fight the wizard. Hamburger? The third classic American food? The fourth classic American food, boobs. Well, third time wasn't the charm. No.
You try the answer boobs. The door doesn't open.
Come on. Steve is definitely 13. I pegged it earlier. Says the computer. McDonald's. Okay, I mean, that's hamburger. No, that's it. I'm gonna lose it. I mean, it started with M, right? Like, I think we could say that the game just only looks at the first letter and decides that it's valid. Fine. If Steve guesses wrong one more time, we'll just skip this puzzle altogether. No, we'll say this one was right. M, yes.
You try the answer McDonald's. The door doesn't open.
Last chance, Steve. This does kind of go against modern game design philosophy, right? There shouldn't be a puzzle that just, like, gets the player stuck. Oh no, Steve has quit the game. Okay, very funny. You know, there should be hints, multiple ways for the player to find a way through an obstacle. In general, right? I mean, in specifically a puzzle game, like, you can say this is the solution, although often there should be multiple of those too. But like, there's some key idea and multiple ways to get to that key idea. In a game where, you know, like if you were playing D&D and you just put a puzzle like this in there, like it's just not good. You shouldn't do that. It shouldn't gate things anyway. There should be some way to you know, to bypass the puzzle, or, you know, some way that failing the puzzle advances the plot anyway, or whatever. I don't mean to say that Run TavernQuest had made a bad design choice by putting that puzzle in. Obviously, it's like a joke against Steve. It's not really a puzzle for the player. But in the fiction, the game, it's very classic, of course. In a game from 1979 would do that. But, like, you can critique what the game of the fiction and say, well, that's something that these days we wouldn't do necessarily. Okay, that was cute. That was fun. I enjoyed the kind of poking fun at nostalgia, and the narration was good. I hope you guys heard it okay. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.